Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our annual Obon and Hatsubon service. We will begin with the ringing of the kansho, followed by Sambujo, Hyo Byakumon, and then chanting of Jusege. And that you can follow along on the screen or in the purple service book in front of you, page 93.
Namandats, 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 namandats. On this occasion of the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple's annual observance of Obon and Hatsubon Dharma service, we are gathered here to express our gratitude and appreciation to Amida Buddha for awakening us to the boundless wisdom and compassion of the Buddha. The origins of Obon can be traced back to the Ulanbana Sutra, which tells the story of Moggallana, a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha. Ulanbana means to be liberated from a spiritual state of suffering and affliction caused by greed, one of the three poisons in our defiled minds. We, as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, even with our defiled minds, joyfully reflect on the primal vow of Amida Buddha, which enable us to realize supreme enlightenment. This morning, we gathered here at our temple to hear the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal vow, the opportunity given by our loved ones to resolve the matter of the great importance of our afterlife. Let us deeply entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha and recite the name of the Buddha to express our gratitude and appreciation for the Buddha's benevolence for settling our birth in the Pure Land. I, Shak Koho, humbly recite the name of the Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namman Butsu. 敬って大大師の阿弥陀如来の御前に申し上げます。本日ここに西ラフ仏教会の裏本会並びに初本会を務めるにあたり、如来の御前を称言し、経典を読受してこの上なき仏頓を感謝申し上げます。そもそも裏本会は仏弟子木蓮尊者の故事に始まり、亡くなった上の人々を忍びつつ、仏法を弔問する法会であります。鑑みれば、私どもは日々、餓鬼道に陥る因を作り続けております。我欲を募らせ、憎しみに駆られて、互いに傷つけ合っているありさまは、まさに餓鬼に等しいと言わねばなりません。餓鬼道の責め苦に遭うのは、一人木蓮尊者の母だけではありません。思えば阿弥陀如来は、このような私どもを救おうと願い、本願他力の道を成就されました。宗祖親鸞上人は、本願を信じ、念仏して、浄土に往生することのみが、自ら救われる道であり、それがまた、世世正常の部母兄弟を救う道でもあると仰せられました。この上は本願の念仏を相続して、どうも互いに助け合い、命の尽きた時は、安寧の浄土に往生して、無常利益の本願を遂げさせていただきます。ここに駐在開教師、釈候補、通信で申し上げます。南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏。華厳長生願必死無常道志願不満道政府上昇学高無量公不意大摂取不採所便政府上昇が下士上文の妙正長実法空教未証も政府上昇が利欲人少年上映終盤 しぐむ浄土一生天にし人力縁大公不生無才道少女三苦名交際集約難回避知恵言滅死根門案閉塞小悪道通達伝宗門高僧上万道異様老実法一月修十日天根分へ集会報道公正功徳法上大集中説法四宿供養一切部具足習徳法熱出上慢得意三愛用成仏無下知通達未不詳安楽営利公私最小尊志願若国家大戦王冠の国書天に法鎮明家ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく平等性祭道本菩提心往生安楽国何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱
Okay, so now we will have Oshoko by the Hatsubon families. Nakazaki Tony. Ikanda Fumiko. Hoshoko by temple presidents. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker to you, Reverend Brian Nagata. Reverend Nagata was born and raised in Fowler, California, and was active in YBA, taught Dharma school, and served on several BCA committees throughout the years. He now lives in Dublin, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, and is a member of the Buddhist Church of Oakland. He served as a director of the Institute of Buddhist Studies, editor of Will of Dharma, volunteer staff for the BCA Center for Buddhist Education, and serves on several committees of the Jodo Shinshu International Organization. He's an advisor to the University of California, Berkeley East Asian Library, the Ho Center for Buddhist Studies at the University of Toronto, the Advisor Council for the University of Chicago Divinity School, and the American Buddhist Study Center. He works for Bukkyo Dendo Kai as Director of Education Programs. Now I'd like to invite Reverend Nagata to deliver his Dharma message.
Please join me in a moment of reflection and gassho. For the benevolence of Amida's light, we express our deepest thanks. For the gratitude we owe to our teachers, for their true guidance, we will endeavor to always do our best in gratefulness. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. Namo Amidas. Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me to join you again for Obon. This morning, to help my presentation, I will use the PowerPoint, so you can look at the screen and just listen to me, or you can close your eyes if you want to. If you're like me, it's amazing that half the year's gone by already. I think for those of us who keep aging every day, the years seem to go by quicker and quicker. And it's hard to believe that it's already Obon season. As humans, we inhabit this planet with all kinds of other life, all kinds of other beings. But what is it that makes humans human? What is it that makes us special or different than other forms of life? One of the things in all forms of life, I think, are the ability to love. But for humans, we have other special abilities. But there are all kinds of creatures in this world. Did you know, I'm sure you've seen these pill bugs. Did you know the pill bug has been around for 300 million years? I don't feel so old when I look at a pill bug now. But when you look at the human brain and the animal brain, there are some differences. Human brains are said to be larger and more complex. I don't know, sometimes I kind of wonder. And supposedly humans have the advanced reasoning, the ability to think and problem solve. And supposedly we're also able to do complex functions. According to AI, humans have the capacity for complex reasoning, abstract thought, and symbolic language. And this allows the development of culture, morality, and the recording of history. Animals primarily rely on instinct, while humans can analyze situations, solve problems creatively, and contemplate the future. Supposedly, we humans have an advanced understanding of the self, and we can engage in self-reflection and introspection that is not typically seen in other animal species. But is this really true? Are we really able to self-reflect? Are we able to have an understanding of the self? And so this is where our ability to self-reflect comes into play. Obon is one of the most important observances of the year because it gives us the opportunity to self-reflect and offer our thanks to our loved ones and to our ancestors for the gift of life that we have received and continue to receive each moment of this life. Each breath, each breathing in we do, each breathing out, each blink of our eyes, each heartbeat, each and every moment, each and every movement of our body, every feeling, every emotion, both good and bad, our very existence is due to those who we reflect upon during Obon. For those of you who are observing Hatsubon, or the very first obon since the passing of your loved one, I'm sure this obon has a very special meaning for you. And the same is for me as well, because my family and I are observing the first obon memorial for my mom, who passed away in January at the age of 95. Understandably, friends and family and acquaintances have all expressed their sadness, their sympathies, and their sorrow at my mom's passing. But for myself and for my family, we are so happy and grateful that my mom is now safely with the Buddha and has received the universal promise of Namo Amida Butsu. And as followers of the Nembutsu path, for those of us who follow the teachings of Shinran, what could be more meaningful in the course of one's lifetime than to be together with the Buddha? Of course, there's a sense of loss, but knowing that my mom is safe with her loved ones, with her friends, and within the compassion and wisdom of Amida Buddha, what more could we ask for? Even though my sister and I are now orphans, we are happy that my mom is now safe. And we too can dance for joy, just like Moggallana did many centuries ago for his mother. One close minister friend said, "Gee, now that your mom's gone to the Pure Land, the Fowler Temple's corner of the Pure Land must be pretty noisy, because my mom's catching up with all her BWA friends who are waiting to catch up on all the gossip of the town." But did you know that all kinds of creatures, including animals, exhibit parent love, not only humans? We see here the elephant and the baby, the lion and the cub. Just like humans, they too have emotions. So how is it that one of life's saddest moments becomes an occasion of joy for us? Did you know that the celebration of Obon has been going on since the 6th century in Japan, almost 1,500 years? Obon is our opportunity to remember our loved ones and ancestors. For Shin Buddhists, we also refer to this as the festival of joy, or Kangye. According to different religions and faiths, the explanation of what happens upon death varies. For some faiths, there will be a decision made by a god or a deity whether one is eligible or worthy of going to the promised land. In other faiths, the end of one's physical life on earth is a progression of existence within different realms until one is worthy of being rewarded a seat in heaven. In each case, the human must be deemed worthy to be judged to be worthy that they have lived a good life as a human. However, for those of us that are embraced within the promise of Namo Amida Butsu, the Buddha understands that we are not perfect, that sometimes our lives, our actions, and our thoughts may be considered not ideal, good, or can even be sometimes considered despicable. As humans, the Buddha understands that we are ultimately filled with the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance. Even though we ourselves may think that we are inherently good, actually any of us can do anything. It is possible that we could even kill or harm other beings. If we honestly look at our own behavior and actions, all of us have killed some form of life. I live on the eastern end of the Bay Area, where temperatures can be 20 or 30 degrees warmer than San Francisco. And each summer, my kitchen gets swarms of ants invading my house because they're looking for water. I don't know if you have that problem down here, but I do. And as with most human beings, what do? Well, I bring out the ant spray, and I send hundreds, if not thousands, of ants off to the ant pure land. These ants are merely looking to survive. They're looking for water. But because of their inconvenience to my existence, I kill them. I often joke that when it's time for me to reach the Pure Land, I'm sure there will be 1,000 or even 1,000,000 ants waiting to spray me with bug spray. But I'm sure I am unique amongst all of us here today. And I will admit that I am quite a despicable human being. I will admit that I have told untruths, and most certainly I have spoken bad of others. And unfortunately, those are all actions not worthy of me being accepted into a heavenly or godly world in my next life. According to some religious paths, I will need to confess or to pay for my sins against the moral good that I have committed. Against the moral bad that I have committed, before I can be rewarded with eternal life in the heaven. However, for me, I am so grateful that the Amida Buddha is perfect in his understanding, accepting of my imperfect human nature and my countless faults and incapabilities. The Buddha has made the promise just for me and just for you. If, when I attain Buddhahood, sentient beings in the lands of the 10 quarters, who sincerely and joyfully entrust themselves to me, desire to be born in my land and call my name even 10 times, should not be born there, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. This is the 18th vow, the primal vow of Amida Buddha that was made for all of us. And this is what makes us so lucky to follow the Nembutsu path. And this in itself is cause for us to be grateful, to be joyful, and to dance for joy in this promise that the Buddha has made for us. Last month, I had the opportunity of leading 5 American graduate and PhD students, including one from UCLA, who were studying Japanese Buddhism. And we took a tour of different Japanese Buddhist sites and centers and temples. It was an amazing 20-day experience, which really broadened even my own understanding of the many different Buddhist paths that have come into being. I was so surprised by the diverse interpretations, beliefs, and practices that have evolved with each of the different sects. And it's amazing that all of these practices and beliefs have developed because each of us are unique. We have experienced different karma experiences and understandings of what our life is all about. In total, we visited almost 30 different temples and Buddhist centers, a few dating back 1,300 years. But one of the most treasured experiences was to visit this Jo-Gyo-Do temple, which is located on Mount Hiei outside of Kyoto. This temple is special for us because during Shinran's early childhood, when he first became a priest and went to Mount Hiei to study, Shinran one of the first practices that Shinran encountered was this practice called Jogyo Zammai, constantly walking meditation practice for 90 days. This practice involved walking around a huge statue of Amida Buddha for 90 days continuously as you recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. This practice is even done today, and I think it was next month that we're going to practice. There were people that were going to encounter this practice for 90 days. And you may think, well, it's no big deal to just walk around a statue of Amida for 90 days. But what it involves is doing that continuously 24 hours a day. And you're forbidden to lay down or sleep. The only breaks you can take are to eat a subsistence meal or to go to the bathroom. Other than that, if you want to rest, you have to lean against the pole that's around the temple. And you can only lean and kind of rest yourself, but you're not able to sit down or sleep for 90 days. With special permission of the temple administrators on Mount Hiei, my students and I were given the opportunity to go inside this Jo-Gyo-Do temple. And we had the actual opportunity to walk around the Amida Buddha statue, just as Shinran Shonin did 800 years ago. Actually, this temple now is a replica of the original temple that Shinran walked around, because the original temple was burned down by Oda Nobunaga in the 1500s. But to have this same experience on the same location that Shinran walked 800 years ago was so moving for me. As we walked around the statue reciting the Nembutsu, tears of gratitude started to stream down my face. Because I thought to myself, if Shinran had not experienced this practice, perhaps none of us would have been able to be embraced by Namo Amida Butsu. With each step we took, I offered a thought of gratitude to all those who have been a part of my life. And it was truly one of the most moving experiences of my life. As a small child, growing up in Fresno, my oba-chan, my grandmother, would wake up early each morning at dawn, and I could hear her in the kitchen cooking a pot of rice. And then she would offer the obupan rice to the Buddha and recite a sutra every morning. And on the days when we would stay over her house, we too had to get up at dawn and sit with her in front of the Obutsudan and recite the sutra together with my Obachan. But as I said, as we circumvented around the Buddha in the darkness of only having one candle in the corner, in this very special Jogyodo temple, I could feel my Obachan and my parents walking alongside of me, gratefully reciting Namo Amida Butsu together in deepest gratitude. It was truly an experience of joy like I have never experienced before. And like this most unique experience at Jogyodo Temple, Obon is also a very special opportunity for us to come together with our loved ones, to remember and to reflect on the love, the care, the compassion, and the sharing of life we received from these loved ones, and to offer our thanks to our ancestors for making our lives possible as well. Once a year, despite our busy and complicated lives, we can offer a thought, a remembrance, or even a tear of a sense of personal loss for our treasured loved ones, and to thank them by reciting Namo Amida Butsu. In every community, the Bon dance is the most popular observance of Obon. Along with the merriment, the happiness, definitely the great food, and the sharing of life and laughter we can enjoy together with family and friends on this one special day each year. It's the one time of year when our communities and our family can all share in the joy of this joyful promise made by Amida Buddha, whether one follows the Buddhist path or not. During the merriment of Obon, I hope that everyone, young and old, can take a second to remember a loved one, someone who meant so much to each of us. None of us came into this world alone. None of us came into this world on our own, nor have any of us been able to survive on our own throughout the years. It is only because of others that we can be here today. And Obon is the occasion that gives us an opportunity to think about the gratitude and thanks that we owe these special people in our lives. But unfortunately, if you're like me, expressing gratitude is something that I'm not very good at, nor do I always remember. Perhaps some of you place your hands together and say, "Itadakimasu" before meals. But if you're like me, oftentimes I'm too busy or my mind is too cluttered and too occupied to even remember to be thankful for the delicious food we are receiving. I take it for granted that our food will be nicely prepared and tasty. And I don't even pause for a second to think about the process by which the food was created or grown, or how it got from the farm to the market, to our house, and then to my mouth. The thoughts of expressing gratitude to the sun, to the earth, and its nutrients, to the water, the air, oxygen, never even enter my mind, much less even expressing a thought of gratitude to the person who might have made or prepared the food for me. But are we any different in expressing our gratitude to the multitude of family, friends, and all life that have made our life possible? And as a child, do you remember even thanking your parents for all that they have done for us? Like many of you, I grew up in the post-war World War II concentration camp years, when our BCA communities and families had to start over from zero. If you look at the history of the BCA Sangha, like this West Los Angeles Buddhist temple, many temple facilities were built in the post-war years when families were rebuilding their lives. Most families were struggling to get back on their feet, and yet our temples, as the center of our religious faith, were so important to our Issei and Nisei, despite the odds. They were insisting that we passed on the teachings to our families and to our communities. Today, it is unfathomable to think of the discrimination, the shame, and the hatred that our Issei and Nisei endured day in and day out. I am sure they endured what they did, thinking that someday their children and their grandchildren could hopefully enjoy wonderful and happy lives in this country we now call home. So much has been endured and sacrificed for us to be able to sit here in this hondo of the West LA Temple this morning, and to be able to dance and laugh and enjoy our Obon dances taking place throughout America this summer. Seeing generations of loved ones gathering at Obon to dance for joy and gratitude must make our loved ones and ancestors so happy today. How lucky we are that we can gather together at Obon time to reflect on our loved ones who gave us so much and who are so important to our growth and existence today. Once a year, surely one day out of 365 days, we can pause and say thank you to all who made our lives possible. Growing up, my mom would tell us stories about her growing up and how they would come home from school and then have to go out into the fields and pick cotton every day. And she would tell us how her fingers would bleed from picking the stems of cotton because of the sharp edges on the cotton bulbs. But I'm sure each and every one of your loved ones also have their own unique stories about life's challenges, adventures, successes, and perhaps even failures, all of which have made our life possible today. But did I even once say thank you for all that my mom endured so that I can enjoy the life I enjoy today? That is why Obon is so important to me. I can celebrate the life of my mother and my father. I can honor the memory of my Oba-chan, my Oji-chan, my grandparents and great-grandparents, and the ancestors for all that they have done to make my life possible. I can thank my mom and my dad and all those who have been a part of my life through Namo Amida Butsu. As I said, none of us has gotten to where we are today by our own power, our own efforts alone. Countless loved ones and friends, thousands of people, known and unknown to us, and innumerable forms of life and circumstances that we could never imagine have all made this moment of life possible for us. And so as we sit here today in the Hondo observing Obon, this is an opportunity for us to reflect on our own lives and to express our gratitude. Just as I experienced that moment of heartfelt gratitude as I circled around the statue of Amida Buddha in the Jogyodo temple, just as Shinran did 800 years ago, I am sure many of you have also had your own moments of pure gratitude. In such instances, what more can we do except recite Namo Amida Butsu, for the countless blessings that have been bestowed upon us. But this expression of gratitude alone is not everything. We also have the obligation to live our lives to the fullest each day. This is how we can express our gratitude and perhaps repay, even in a small way, the benefits of life that we have received because of others. Again, to those family observing the first Obon since the passing of your loved one, I join with you in expressing my deepest sympathies. But I hope you will have a feeling of a sense of anshin, or settled heart, knowing that your loved one has been embraced by the Buddha, having been reborn in Amida's infinite compassion and wisdom. And everything is fine now for our loved ones. And with this understanding, we too can dance for joy as Moggallana did for his mother centuries ago. Each breath, each breathing in, each breathing out, every blink of our eye, every heartbeat, each and every movement of our body, every feeling, every emotion, good or bad, every existence is due to those that we remember today at Obon. So I hope everyone will have a very nice Obon day today. And I hope you'll have a very nice Obon dance next weekend as well. And enjoy the countless blessings of each day that we are able to encounter. And I hope that you will continue to listen to and live the teachings of the Buddha, to open your hearts and minds to Namo Amida Butsu, and to live each moment of life within the boundless compassion and wisdom that the Buddha shares with all of us at all times. Thank you very much. Namandas, 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 namandas.
Thank you very much, Nagata Sensei. Now, Reverend Takata will deliver his message in Japanese.
どうぞ合唱してください。生じの区会ほとりなし、久しく沈める我らをば、皆具勢の船の溝、乗せて必ず渡しけると、何万だ。皆様、おはようございます。Good morning, everyone. First of all, I wish to extend my deepest condolence to the Nakazaki family and Ikanda family and Brian. I hope you found comfort in the Buddha's teaching. I now would like to share the Buddha's teaching in Japanese for a short time for Japanese-speaking members. 最近お盆に関してですね、2つの質問をいただきました。I received two questions from member. 一つは自分の亡くなった、愛する人がどこに行ったのか。Where my loved ones went after the death. 2つ目のクエスチョンは、Why どうして私たちはそのお盆にですね、提灯をみんなオファーしますけど、The purpose of offering the 提灯 to the loved ones。この2つの質問をいただきました。で、初めにご三代、生じの区会ほとりなし、久しく沈める我らをば。生じというのは、生まれる死ぬというふうに書くんですね。birth and death。で、シナ書にはこの生じということをですね、迷いというふうに呼ばれたんですね。We are in this defiled land. We are in the world of suffering. ですから私たちはですね、 人参受け方し今すでに浮く、今は人間として生を受けていますけど、この前世がですね、私たちはもしかしたら地獄にいたかもしれないし、木蓮尊者のお話で有名なガキ道にいたかもしれないし、どこの世界にいたか分かんないですね。で、どうやって私たちはこの六道、迷いの世界から抜け出そうとしても抜け出せないということをお知りになられて、仏様は必ず救いますよというご本願をお立てになられました。ですから私たちはただ仏様にですね、すべてをお任せすることによって、私たちはこの苦しみの世界から往生度へと往生させていただくことができるんです。ですから亡くなったお父さん、お母さん、おじいちゃん、おばあちゃんは命を終えたその時に阿弥陀様の大きな大きな船に乗って往生度へと行かれたんですね。で、親鸞聖には2種のエコーがあると。一つは We are going to the Pyramid. Then the second, We are returning to this world. 私たちはこの世に帰ってくる。で、お盆には亡くなった人がですね、この世に帰ってくると言われますね。ですから浄土真宗でなくて他宗はですね、ナスビとか野菜のナスビは何ていうか、エグプラントとかキューカンバーに爪楊枝で足と手を作って4本刺してですね、乗り物を作ってそれをお墓とかですね、お仏の前に置くんですね。で、それは何でかというと、亡くなった人がですね、この乗り物に乗ってこの世に帰ってくるから。で、時にはですね、お仏壇の前とか、お寺でもそうですけど、このぐるぐるぐるぐる光が回ってる提灯を置いているところがあるんですね。これもですね、その亡き人がですね、迷わないようにそういうものを置いてですね、ここにちゃんと帰ってこれるように目印として置くことがあるんですけど、浄土真宗の見教えではですね、親鸞様がおっしゃっておられますように、お盆の時だけじゃなくて、not only お盆 time, our loved ones are always with us. Not only お盆 time. お盆の時だけじゃなくて、いつでもどこででも私たちと一緒にいてくださる。で、どういう形で戻ってきてくださっているかというと、限りのない知恵と慈悲ですからですね、私たちがオファーするお盆の提灯というのはですね、迷わないようにという目印でオファーするんじゃなくて、知恵と慈悲のお光をいただくということで、Light of Wisdom Compassion, that's the purpose of our offering, 提灯ですね。ですから毎日の日暮らしの中で、この南無阿弥陀仏、蓮如上人という人はですね、この6時のうちにこそ住め、この6時というのは南無阿弥陀仏という中に私の亡くなったおじいちゃんおばあちゃんが住んでいる。で、私もそこに住んでいるというふうに言われたんですけど、この南無阿弥陀仏の中にいつもですね、亡き人が限りのない知恵と慈悲として生き続けておられる。そして私たちをまたこのお浄土へと導いてくださっているということです。ですから、お盆だけじゃなくて毎日平税強情という言葉が浄土真宗ではありますが、毎日の日暮らしの中で仏様の見教えをお聞かせいただきましょう。本日はようこそのお参りでございました。どうぞ合唱してください。南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏。
Thank you, Reverend Takata. Now we will have the reading of White Ashes by Reverend Umezu.
I invite you to please put your hands together or bow your heads as I read White Ashes, a letter written by Master Renyo. When I deeply contemplate the transient nature of human existence, I realize that from beginning to end, life is impermanent, like an illusion. We have not yet heard of anyone who has lived 10,000 years. How fleeting is a lifetime? Who in this world today can maintain a human form for even 100 years. There is no knowing whether I will die first or others, whether death will occur today or tomorrow. We depart one after another more quickly than the dewdrops on the roots or the tips of the blades of grass. So it is said. Hence, we may have radiant faces in the morning, but by evening, we may turn into white ashes. Once the winds of impermanence have blown, our eyes are instantly closed and our breath stops forever. Then our radiant face changes its color, and the attractive countenance, like peach and plum blossoms, is lost. Family and relatives will gather and grieve, but all to no avail. Since there is nothing else that can be done, they carry the deceased out to the fields, and then what is left after the body has been cremated and turned into midnight smoke is just white ashes. Words fail to describe the sadness of it all. Thus, the ephemeral nature of human existence is such that death comes to young and old alike without discrimination. So we should all quickly take to heart the matter of the greatest importance of the afterlife and trust ourselves deeply to Amida Buddha and recite the Nembutsu. Humbly and respectfully. それ人間の不詳なる相をつらつら感ずるにおよそ儚きものはこの世の始終中幻のごとくなるいちごなりされば今だ万歳の人参の受けたりということを聞かず一生過ぎやすし今に立って誰か100年の業態を保つべきや我や先人や先今日とも知らず明日とも知らず遅れ先立つ人は元の雫末の梅雨よりも茂しと言えりされば明日には子がなって夢には箱となれるみなりすでに無常の風来たり濡ればすなわち二つの眼たちまちに閉じ一つの息長く耐えぬれば子が虚しく返じて鳥の装いを失いぬる時は六神眷属集まって嘆き悲しめどもさらにその会やるべからずさてしもあるべきことならねばとって野外に送って弱の煙となし果てぬればたらはこんの溝のこれり哀れというもなかなか愚かなりされば人間の儚きことは老少不女の境なれば誰の人も早く御所の 一大事を心にかけて阿弥陀仏と深く頼み参らせて念仏もすべきものなりあなかしこあなかしこナマンタブナマンタブツナマンタブナマンタブツナマンタブナマンタブツナマンタブナマンタブツナマンタブナマンタブナマンタブツナマンタブ。
Okay, now it's time for some announcements. Many of you have probably been coming to our Bon dance practice, but we have 2 more nights left. It'll be this Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 8:30. So if you haven't come, you still have time to learn. Then we've been talking about the Obon Memorial Lanterns. So you do have an opportunity to order the lanterns, and this is what it looks like. On the tassel, it has the name of your loved one on one side, and on the other will have the Buddhist name. And then during our Obon, these will be hanging on the dance route, Saturday and Sunday. And then afterwards, we will save them, so then if you would like to collect it, just contact the office, and then you can make arrangements to come and pick them up. So if you order by July the 20th, that will be the last day. And of course, our big event is our Obon Festival, July 26th and 27th. We have some postcards in the back, so if you'd like to take one of those, please do. We have dancing, we'll have food booths, games. Abasonics will be playing live music. West LA Taiko will be performing, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We do have relaxed parking in the area, and also the Lumens building, which is right across the street from the Japanese school. You'll have the opportunity there to park for only $5 for the evening. Again, we'll have some information at the dance practice as well. Then for those of you who enjoy bingo and have been coming to our temple bingo, which is usually the 3rd Friday of every month, it will start again in September. July and August will be dark months for bingo, but we'll restart the 3rd Friday in September. However, we will have bingo during Obon, so if you've got that itch, come to Obon. And then finally, we have some items that we sell here. The first one is our temple t-shirt. Let's see. This is what it looks like. It's got our temple logo on one side and then WLABT on the other. So we have 2 styles, V-neck and crew neck. They're $20 each for that. And then the next item is our temple. This is our new temple happi. Same thing, it's got our logo on the back, and then the front, in Japanese, it says West LA Buddhist Temple. So if you're a member, it will be $80 each. For non-members, they're $95 each. So I understand that we've got very, very low supplies, so if we don't have your size, we will be reordering them. Then finally, after the service today, we want to invite all of you to join us for lunch. It's just across in the social hall, so please come. We have a lot of food. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for attending our Obon Hatsubon service today. And Sensei?
Right after the service, we have a short service at Nokotsudo, so please join us. Would you please join me, Gasho? Namo Amidabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu. And before moving to Kaikan, Ume Sensei will deliver the itadakimasu.
Please once again join me in Gasho for our words before the meal. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to share this wonderful meal, thanks to all the many people and living beings that surround us who have made this occasion possible. We receive this meal with humility and deep gratitude. 多くの命と皆様のおかげにより、このごちそうを恵まれました。深くご恩を喜び、ありがたくいただきます。いただきます。
One more item. This is our last service until September the 7th. We will come back on September the 7th, so don't come next week, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Please offer the incense.